It's
more likely in the near term. I'm not sure that there was some hopes about more of this clearing up in the second half, but it was never a definitive thing as far as supply shortages. Now it just looks more into 2023 that we'll get those clearer skies, Bob.
Indeed, John. There are a lot of predictions in the fall, even late summer of last year, that this was going to be resolved.
all right. There we go.
Perhaps, but it is proving to be more persistent, and nobody can tell you that better than the Fed chair himself.
Indeed. Well, let's spend some more time on Intel now with somebody who knows a lot about Intel. CEO Pat Gelsinger is with us in a first on CNBC interview. Pat, good morning. This was an interesting quarter. Because, as far as the top line and results, you were very upbeat about them. There was a lot of focus, though, on margins. I noticed, though, in the analyst notes, a lot of analysts saying Pat's plan is right, but it's going to be rocky from here. Investors not picking up on that theme yet, though.
Well, thanks, John, and great to talk to you, Carl and Deidre. And, we just finished a great year, right? This is a critical transformational year for us. And
all right, I'm not interested in watching this guy shill Intel. I would consider buying Intel, though, depending on how much it drops. Intel's a good stock.
Customers, it takes a couple of years for them to move designs into new foundries, and it's a business model expansion for Intel. And as
I really wish I sold all my Intel at 55, though.
Ahead of the schedule that I set for that, the momentum that we're seeing from the customer and the industry. And
good morning.
Obviously, that leads then into.
Thank you for joining the live.
And we're following what we call smart path.
Love life.
We need to build shells, and then
feel free to ask questions. Let me know if the volume's okay.
Or for foundry customers, but overall,
throw in some comments. Let's make this live stream entertaining.
The industry is going to double over the course of the decade, and we're going to be positioned to capitalize.
Don't be shy to ask questions.
Hey, Pat, it's Deirdre. You do paint an optimistic picture. You did so on the call last night. Like John, I heard some skepticism from the analysts that pressured you a little on gross margins and supply constraints. You've even talked about this. There's quite a bit to catch up on in your core business and your competition.
Nice. Everything is perfect over here. Good to hear that.
Trying to bite off too much by establishing yourself in the foundry business. As you say,
you have a question about pharmaceutical stocks. Fire away. What's your question about pharmaceutical stocks? Hopefully you own a lot of Eli Lilly and Pfizer because they print money. Is there another pharmaceutical stock you're looking at?
Because it establishes, the engagement with the industry, this benchmarking and testing.
Okay, ADMP. So how did you learn about this stock? What got you into this stock? Ticker ADMP. Did you see a video on YouTube about it, or how did you learn about it?
Foundry business in U.S. and Europe at scale, and the world needs leading-edge process technology at scale. That's going to be the driver of the second half of this decade.
Intel hasn't been able to manufacture anything new. They're so behind everyone else.
With our stewardship of Moore's Law, we are committed to keep that alive and well and be the leaders in process technology yet again.
I don't believe them.
Yes, committed, Pat, and I know that you have some support from the White House, which was on display earlier this week. I want to talk a little bit more about gross margins, though. They've come down.
Okay, so you heard about it all over Reddit.
Are you confident that?
So what information on Reddit is making you bullish?
If it goes lower than that, would you then be willing to consider that strategy?
We've set a range of 51 to 53 and then rising as, we laid out a 5-year.
Are they releasing a new drug, or what's the deal?
Period. And we feel very comfortable with that. The guidance that we gave yesterday of 52%, right in the middle of the range. Obviously, we beat again last quarter on our profitability. So all of these things, we feel very comfortable with the range that we're laying out. And for that,
So are you looking to trade this stock, or is this a long-term hold? If they have a vaccine play, are you just trying to swing trade this, get in, watch the stock go up, and then sell out?
To us, this is all predictive.
Is this a buy and hold trade?
Plan, and I have great confidence that we're going to beat meet and beat those ranges. That's why we lay them out the way we do. I'm a meet, beat, raise kind of guy. And yet again, we had another great quarter last quarter, and we're confident that we're going to keep this machine gaining momentum into the future, Dieter.
Hey, Pat, you got a lot of near-term concerns to address, and I know we're asking you about them, but there is this sort of low-grade fever regarding geopolitics and open questions about China and Taiwan. And I wonder, as we get past the Olympics and some of these big events in China this year, is there a playbook to deal with a geopolitical disruption to global supply?
Clearly, this is a backdrop, Carl, that's been driving this view, and I've used this phrase that we need a globally balanced, resilient supply chain. And this is part of what motivates the US Chip Act. It's part of what motivates the EU Chip Act. We simply need a better supply chain that's balanced across the geographies, that has more redundancy and resiliency built into that. That's clearly why we've taken a number of the steps like we've done. And just last week's announcement, with President Biden, farm kid from Pennsylvania, introducing the President of the United States of America. Wow. This is just beyond any of my wildest expectations.
Well, your stock's not doing too good, Mr. CEO.
And the response that we've seen from the heartland of our nation, to rebuild manufacturing, to bury that term, the Rust Belt, and now become the technology hub of the nation. Boy, incredible enthusiasm for that. And yeah, we see this as a fundamental rebound.
So you answer the question though, is this pharmaceutical stock, is this like a swing trade, or are you trying to buy and hold long term?
Of that global supply chain. The world needs it. Where are semiconductor capabilities, technology leadership, digitization of everything? Yeah, this is important for our nation, the economy, our national security, and we're clearly going to be one of the companies making that happen.
Yeah, the president even called you the boss, which was a fun moment. Let's talk about graphics. Art graphics, you're starting to ramp that. To what degree do you expect it in 22 and 23 to add meaningfully to revenue, perhaps the margins, depending on how much of that is going to be higher end discrete graphics?
Yeah, we're launching those products, and as you saw at CES, Carl, 50 design wins for that across everybody in the industry. So there really is a thirst for us entering that marketplace. And frankly, I can't remember a time that I've introduced a new product, probably since the 8046, that had this amount of.
All right, man. This guy's getting boring. We're gonna fast forward it. He's just pumping his stock. I don't even know why they bring CEOs on. It's just like garbage information.
T-Mobile, our understanding is he will remain a board member at T-Mobile. He will also remain.
All right, there we go. Your friends are jumping in. It's a penny stock. It's a swing trade. So the problem with those is you have to know when to get out. If you're buying penny stocks, you have to be very, very careful. You have to know when to get in, what price, and when to get out. And if you don't do that, you can lose money.
Univision, he of course was also behind.
So just be careful and know, where the exit is, because penny stocks are very volatile.
Questions about the value, long-term value of.
All I can tell you is just diversify. If you're going to invest in penny stocks, you should also own some mega cap to balance out your portfolio. So just don't be 100% penny stocks.
And how much SoftBank will make or not from that transaction, but a giant in the world of SoftBank and what was going on throughout the valley over the past several years.
And the key with penny stocks is don't pay fees, man. A lot of these penny stocks, it's like $6 or $7 to trade it. So make sure you're not getting eaten alive by fees. So just be careful that you're paying zero transaction fees. Because, think about it. If you're just trading $100 worth of a penny stock and you're paying a $6 fee, you're automatically down 6% every trade.
Our understanding is that
so don't let that happen to you.
To start a new fund, perhaps on his own, we will see. But that is the news.
Andrew, he was also very involved in the Latin America.
Okay. Citibank's okay. I prefer Goldman Sachs over Citibank. AIG is like whatever. I like Berkshire Hathaway probably over AIG. Netflix is okay. I recommend buying an ETF and getting the getting the S&P 500. So basically either SPY, QQQ, VOO. You got to own a little bit of the index, you know, because then you can kind of, you know, do your day trading, but you also have the index just making you money passively.
Fund and looking at companies there. It also raises questions about Masayoshi-san's succession, right? We've been talking about this for years, and Marcelo Claure was potentially thought as one of these people who might be there. We've seen in the past too, there was another name, Nikesh Arora, who had this position, who left as well. And the narrative around that was that Masayoshi-san wasn't going anywhere for a long time. Do you think that that could have something to do with this?
Uh-oh.
You know, I have not gotten to the bottom of exactly why they landed where they have. I think that having covered and known Marcelo Claure for some time, he's an entrepreneur. Of course, started Brightstar many years ago, and then has now run and operated many businesses.
SoftBank is not looking too good.
Me that thinks that Marcelo is going to be it could be or try to be the next Masa-san in many ways. And so,
Yo, the best advice I can give you if you're new to investing is buy VOO. VOO, VTI, and VT. Type it out in the chat so I know you have the right tickers. Do whatever you want to do, but make sure you put some money in those 3 indexes. And if you end up losing more money than the index, you should probably put more money in the index. If you do better than the index, then you should continue to do whatever you're doing, whether it's, you know, people telling you on Reddit, you know, whatever you're doing. If it's working, it's working. But if you can't beat the index, you need to put more money in the index because it's the easiest way to make money when you're new to investing. Own a little bit of the index. All right, we're going to go live because I don't like ads. Yo, type those 3 names out for me. I just want to make sure you have the right index or the right stocks. Tech stocks are rallying. Woo!
Whether it was QQQ volumes, options hedging, all that stuff qualified. You can check off the
QQQ is a buy, guys. That's a good one. QQQ and SPY. Those are 2 easy money. You just buy it and you hold it, and SPY will pay you a nice dividend too.
Well, it's got to hold 15,000. That's where the 200-day average is. So essentially, there's a lot to prove for this market. And probably all you're hoping for, if you're bullish, is to create a little bit of a base for a new trading range, and then see where it goes from there. But the talk of the Fed rate hikes and what it means for various parts of the market. Take a look at the last experience in the tightening cycle.
I need to buy some Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Over the next couple of years, and this is the Nasdaq.
All right, so if I don't hear from you, I'm going to go ahead and end this live so I can buy some Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's what I'm doing right now. I like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So leave your comments before I end this live stream.
Getting their dominance, the cloud was birthing, all that stuff. Point is,
all right, thank you for watching, guys.
Any one particular thing for growth.
Buy some Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Great chart, great perspective, Mike. Thank you. Meanwhile, Tesla posting a beat.